A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant ruling on Monday, a divided U.S. appeals court has granted President Donald Trump the authority to deploy National Guard troops to Portland, Oregon, despite strong objections from local city and state leaders. This decision marks a pivotal legal victory for Trump as he continues to send military forces to various Democratic-led cities across the nation, raising concerns about the militarization of domestic law enforcement. The ruling comes from a three-judge panel of the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which decided to put on hold a previous order issued by U.S. District Judge Karen Immergut. Judge Immergut, appointed by Trump during his first term, had ruled that the president likely acted unlawfully when he ordered the troops to Portland, citing potential violations of federal law governing military deployment. Despite her ruling, the appeals court's decision allows Trump to move forward with his plans to dispatch troops, which he claims are necessary to address what he describes as a war-ravaged city. This characterization has been met with skepticism, as local police records indicate that protests in Portland have been relatively small and peaceful, with minimal arrests reported in recent months. The legal battle over the deployment of National Guard troops reflects a broader conflict between the Trump administration and Democratic leaders in various states, who argue that the president's actions violate the 10th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which reserves rights for the states. The lawsuit filed by city and state officials aims to halt the deployment, asserting that Trump's exaggeration of the situation in Portland is an attempt to seize control of state National Guard units unlawfully. The president's use of the National Guard for domestic purposes has raised alarms about the implications for civil liberties and the potential for federal overreach. Since the summer, Trump has ordered National Guard troops into several cities, including Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and Memphis, amid ongoing protests against his administration's immigration policies. The legal framework for these deployments rests on Section 12406 of Title 10 of the U.S. Code, which grants the president the authority to deploy state National Guard troops under certain conditions, such as to repel invasions or suppress rebellions. However, critics argue that the current situation does not meet these criteria, and they question the necessity of military intervention in what they view as a largely peaceful protest environment. The Ninth Circuit's ruling is not without dissent. One judge expressed concerns about the implications of the decision. During oral arguments, the two Trump-appointed judges suggested that Judge Immergut had focused too narrowly on recent protests without considering the broader context of unrest in the city. They argued that courts should not engage in a day-by-day assessment of troop necessity. As the legal proceedings continue, the case highlights the ongoing tensions between federal authority and state rights, a theme that has become increasingly prominent in American politics. The situation in Portland will continue to unfold as a non-jury trial is scheduled to begin on October 29th, where Judge Immergut will determine whether to impose a longer-term block on the deployment of National Guard troops. The outcome of this legal challenge could set a significant precedent for the use of military forces in domestic law enforcement and the balance of power between state and federal governments. As the nation watches closely, the implications of this ruling extend far beyond Portland, potentially affecting how future administrations engage with state and local authorities in times of crisis. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.